2. What does it take for a chemical reaction to occur? So let's watch this video first.
Meet our chemist, Harriet. She has a chemical reaction that needs to occur more quickly. Our chemist has some processes at her disposal that can help her speed up her reaction, and she knows of 5 ways. And to remember them, she thinks back to her days as a high school student, and the day she got a date for the dance. Harriet was in high school studying between classes. She had lost track of time and was going to be late to class. Unbeknownst to her, Harold, who was just around the corner, was running late too. They both sprinted to class, and as it happened, sprinted directly into one another. Now, this was no small collision. They ran squarely into one another in such a way that he knocked the books right out of her hand. "I'm sorry," he said. "Let me help you with your books." He kindly helped her recollect her belongings and politely offered to walk her to class. And you'll never guess who went together to the dance later that year. Yep, those two. So as we can see from this example, the key to getting a date for the dance is to collide with someone and knock the books out of their hands. Now, you're probably already aware that not all collisions lead to dates for the dance, thankfully. The collisions must have 2 important characteristics. 1, correct orientation that allows books to be knocked from one's hands, and 2, enough energy to knock the books out.
Alright, so based on the video, okay, there are 2 ways or 2 factors that allows a chemical reaction to occur. So the first factor, they must have the correct orientation, meaning they must be able to collide with each other first. Okay, and when they collide, they must collide with a certain minimum amount of energy, known as activation energy. So first, you must collide. Number 2, you must have the activation energy. Alright, so when the collision between the reactant particles fulfill this condition, the products are formed. These collisions are then known as effective collision. So there's 2 types of collision. One is when nothing happens because there's not enough energy. Number 2 is when it produces something. We call it effective collision. Okay? Right, next. So, this diagram shows that 2 particles can bounce, but if they don't have enough energy, what happens is they will just bounce away. Okay, so they will just bounce apart. But if they come together with enough energy, so this one minimum energy, so EA is fulfilled, okay, it breaks apart and it will produce a reaction, a new product. Okay, and as you can see from here to here, this is of a lower temperature and this is of a higher temperature. So we'll talk about that more later. Okay, so that's the end of part 2.